It doesn't matter. We need grocery. I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
About your brawl with Elias.
With Elias? Talk to Fritz about that.
Are you happy with it?
It's not worth a damn. If I had any choice, you wouldn't see my heels for dust.
Well, what's happened? Did you two get yourselves into trouble?
What fine friend you are, assuming it's our own bloody fault.
Oh, come on. You know what you two are like. I had to ask.
Well, perhaps with that monk. But now, the foreman's got it in for us. If he could, he'd skin us alive.
Always forcing you to work, is he?
If only. That wouldn't be so awful. But nothing we do is good enough for him. There's always some reason for him to yell at us.
I can imagine.
You know what it's like. We do too little, and it takes us too long, and what we eat's worth more than the work we've done, and it's no fun listening to that sort of shit day after day.
And you definitely don't... You don't ever provoke him?
I've already told you once, he's an arsehole. I'd say there's nothing we can do about it. If he wants to yell at us, he'll yell at us.
Have you tried talking with him?
What do you think? But that just sets him off. He starts saying we're practically bandits, and what he's going to do about it. That gets Fritz going, and he starts yelling too,
And the miller won't stick up for you? I would have thought all the yelling would drive him mad.
Not really. He trusts that loudmouth bastard more than us. He's got us down for a pair of parasites.
I see.
What's so stupid is the mill really needs us. We haven't had any hands here for quite a while, and the mill needs a lot of fixing. But with him around, we can't even get to work.
I'd never have guessed he's like that.
Well, get a job here as a hand, and you'll soon see.
And what does he do during the day? Does he work with you?
Good one. He keeps his eye on everything, but his hand only touches the saw when the miller shows up, which isn't that surprising.
Why?
The last time he did anything, he almost took his thumb off with a chisel. I wouldn't put an axe in those paws of his either.
So he's clumsy and arrogant. That's what you said about your last master, that Nimoy.
Aye, but at least you could sneak away from old Nimoy for a bit. No chance of that around here.
And what do you want to do about it? Just run away?
Actually, I'd like to stay here, at least for a bit. I never would have thought I'd like working in a mill, but not with him around. It's unbearable, and there's no one I can complain to. But you could.
Me? Do you think they'll listen to me?
They did once already, didn't they? They hired us because of you. You could have another word with them.
Back then, making promises was enough. Now, it will be worse.
You can forget about the miller. It's Thomas you need to convince. The miller takes his opinion seriously. So, will you do it for us? Again?
Fine. I'll try and talk to him.
I'm glad. But try not to get on his wrong side. You won't get anywhere with him then.
I'll keep that in mind. I'd like you to teach me how to be better at stealth.
Certainly.
I'm interested in more...
Alright, but... Now, pay close attention.
I'd like you to teach... I'd like to...
Now.
I'd like you to... I want to achieve...
Now, pay close attention.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
About your brawl with Elias.
How the fuck do you know about him?
Your best friend settled the matter.
You're serious?
Absolutely. All you have to do is go to him and promise you'll pay the debt somehow.
We won't forget this. Oh, on my honor. Thanks.
Matthew told me your foreman's a fool, and you're not exactly filled with Christian love for him.
You better believe it. I'd like to pay him back for everything and drown him in the river.
Drown him? What's he done to you?
It was the first or the second day here. We had a disagreement and I told him off. And then, all of a sudden, we're fighting and that fucker just throws me in the river. I nearly drowned.
Well, how did you get out? I thought you couldn't swim.
I can't. They pulled me out. I was up to my waist in water.
I see. Well, I'd be pretty fucking angry too. So you want to pay him back?
Exactly. I don't give a shit about anything around here, but that bastard's in need of a good trouncing.
I spoke with him briefly and he doesn't seem so horrible.
Then you ought to try working with him. He's a sneaky bastard and arrogant. You should see how he puffs himself up when he's off to play dice with Lawrence.
Who's Lawrence? Another mill hand?
Aye, but at the neighbouring mill. They call him the Wren. Damned if I know why. Thomas goes there to play dice with him.
What about the others at the mill? Are they awful as well?
The miller's an old fool. He believes every word that comes out of Thomas's mouth. It's hopeless. And then there's the miller's daughter. She's a pretty lass, and kind with it. But what can she do? Nothing. Not that it stops Matthew gonna see her. But Thomas is the root of the problem.
Do you think he's jealous? Is she a sweetheart?
He might make puppy dog eyes at her, but most of the time he just struts about like a peacock. I really don't think she's the problem.
And what do you want to do about it? You think you can come to an agreement?
No fucking chance. Matthew hopes so because he likes it here. It's true the work's better than the mines, but the play's worse.
So how do you plan on dealing with it? Leaving?
Perhaps. But first, I want to give Thomas a proper trouncing. I mean a real thrashing.
And you think that will help?
Maybe. Maybe it'll knock some sense into that fat head of his. Or he'll be too frightened to mess with me.
That might help.
So why don't you arrange a fight with him? If we win, he'll leave us alone. Oh, we could...
What?
We could lure him off someplace far away and then wait for him. Maybe to play dice with Lawrence. He would have to go through the dark woods.
I'll think about it. I want to get better at fist fighting.
Certainly.
I'd like to hone my skills.
All right. Now,
I want to get better. I want to achieve...
now.
What can you tell me?
What can I tell you?
Why not?
Well, pay us a visit.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Are you happy with your new workers?
They're good carpenters, but someone constantly has to stand behind their backs and keep an eye on them.
Really?
Yes. When I'm there with them, everything goes smoothly. But the moment I leave, I hear Thomas yelling.
I've heard.
I don't know what I'd do without Thomas. He keeps an eye on everything for me now. The mill wouldn't function without him.
But Thomas has problems with carpentry.
You're right. You should hear him cursing when he has to turn his hand to it. He knows he'll never be a real miller.
What, just because of that?
No. He's not too skilled at handling the water wheel and the mill run either. He can wield a shovel well enough, but otherwise I have to keep telling him how to do things.
So he's not been foreman too long?
No. My son used to run the mill, but then his wagon overturned with him inside it. It'll be a year ago now, come spring.
I'm sorry.
Me too, boy. And after Martin was gone, the other workers left and only Thomas stayed. I don't know what I'd do without him.
What happened that day? Wagons don't overturn themselves.
He was transporting new stone blocks for the mill and he had to take a detour. Since the wagon was too heavy for the Ford, it was after a downpour. The load must have slipped and the whole wagon fell on him. I pray it was quick.
So he was alone, with no one to help him.
Of course not. Thomas was there too. He helped Martin to load the wagon in Sassa, and both of them set off back.
I'll have a beer.
Just the two of them? No one else was there?
No, they always did it that way. Martin didn't like dragging people where it wasn't necessary, when they could be doing work elsewhere. But if I had been there with them, maybe he'd still be alive. Thomas couldn't pull the wagon off him. He ran for help, but it was already too late.
I'm sorry. But I'm sure he's in God's kingdom now.
He was a good boy, a kind soul.
Have you been without carpenters for a while?
A long time. Since winter, it's been just me and Thomas.
Nobody stays around?
No. These days, it's hard to find a man you can rely on. Young lads today are bone idle. None of them wants to do an honest day's work.
And how many have actually worked for you?
About half a dozen, maybe more. We always put up with them till the most urgent work was done, then sent them packing.
And what about Jane? Shouldn't she have a husband by now?
What are you trying to say?
A pretty girl like her is ripe for marriage.
With a large dowry because she comes from a mill? Well, she had herself a man once, but he ran away during the winter. He wasn't up to the work either.
And how long did he last?
You know, he was here for a while. But back then my son was a foreman and he was a kindly son. Too kind. He never threw anyone out.
So everyone started leaving when Thomas took over.
Well, Thomas is a dog on slackers. And just as well. Maybe it's harsh, but that's what you need now. If we don't mill, folk don't eat.
So the moment Thomas became mill foreman, everyone started running off. Not one man could stand it, even if they had a chance to marry Jane. Don't you think Thomas might be doing it on purpose? Sounds to me like he's after the mill, or your daughter, or both.
That's not like him. He's a good man and straightforward. He knows I can always send for a new mill foreman.
And Jane?
Don't worry about her. She'll wed whoever I approve of, even Thomas if he asks for her hand. At least with him, I know he won't leave the mill.
Indeed, why would he once he's got rid of everyone else?
That's enough. I don't know why you're trying to slander Thomas, but I don't mean to listen to it any longer.
I heard what you asked my father. You can't expect help from him. He's none too sharp these days.
And can you help me?
No. Nobody listens to me. But I wanted to say that Thomas does do it on purpose. He did it the same way before.
Why?
Because he's afraid if someone comes who's more skilled, Father will notice and give his job to the newcomer.
And your father lets him? Can't he settle this?
He probably could, but he doesn't want to. My brother was the mill foreman before him, but last year a wagon overturned on him, broke his back. It broke my father too. And Thomas was here the longest. He was always close to my brother, so Father chose him as the mill foreman.
And Thomas doesn't listen to anyone. Can't you persuade him?
No. He keeps looking my way and tries to be nice, but he doesn't care what I've got to say. When I tell him something, it goes in one ear and out the other.
And this probably won't end well. And what happened to your brother?
And what does that have to do with this?
I don't know. You mentioned it, so I was just wondering.
There's not much to tell. A stone block that was loaded wrong, slippery ground after rain, and when the wagon overturned on him, there was no one around to help.
What do you mean, no one? Surely he wasn't alone.
No, he had Thomas with him. But Thomas couldn't lift the wagon off him, and by the time he found help it was too late. And as if that wasn't bad enough, someone robbed my brother while Thomas was looking for help.
Someone robbed him after he was dead.
I don't know. But they took a mottled scarf which I gave him as a keepsake. He laughed when I gave it to him. He said it would make him look like a fop, but he still wore it all the time. And someone must have thought it was worth stealing.
But who'd steal a scarf?
Why are you asking me? When they brought him back here, he didn't have it. That's all I know.
I'm sorry about what happened to him.
Me too. But it was his own fault. If he'd brought more people with him, he'd still be alive. He was too kind for his own good.
I understand.
What is it?
Good day to you. What do you need?
So you know this Hinek? Can you tell me something about him?
Not much, I confess.
Why's that?
No one with enough.
So what do you think about the workers I brought you?
If I hadn't put in a good word for them, the miller would have thrown them out by now.
I heard them say something else.
So they're complaining, are they? I provide for them, and all they do is slack off.
Isn't it the miller who provides for them?
He can't manage the work anymore. If it weren't for me, there'd be nothing left standing around here.
Except that you'll never make a decent miller.
What?
I heard when you've got an axe in your hand, you're more of a danger to yourself than any nearby wood. You leave that kind of work to men who know how to do it.
That's a lie! Open that mouth of yours again and I'll shut it for you. I thought so.
I heard you were with the miller's son when the wagon fell on him.
What of it?
I just heard some talk and I wanted to get the story straight from you.
Talk? From who?
I heard some gossip about it at the alehouse. What happened? Was it really lightning that scared the horses?
What? No, there wasn't any storm. It was just the road was muddy, and so we rode closer to the edge of it.
It's a real stroke of bad luck, isn't it?
Tell me about it. If I'd been behind the wagon, it would have fallen on me too.
Why did only 2 of you go?
He always did it that way. But 2 people are enough for the trip, and if we needed an extra pair of hands, we could always find some local.
Except at the end. If there had been more of you, he might have survived.
Do you think I don't know that? I couldn't move the wagon on my own, so I went looking for help. We'd met a few travelers along the way, and I ran to find them, but it was too late. The weight of it crushed him while I was gone.
I'm sorry.
Me too. Me too. I didn't want to be the mill foreman, but the last thing he ever said to me, the very last thing he ever asked of me, was to take care of the mill.
And I heard someone robbed him.
Robbed? What kind of nonsense is that?
I heard he was missing something when they brought him back.
What? I don't remember anything.
He had a scarf with him.
Really? I don't know. Maybe he lost it on the way. Or it sank into the mud. Yes, that's probably it. It's still buried there somewhere.
Well, I hope he's resting in peace.
Amen.
I heard you're as bad-tempered as a rabid dog, and twice as stupid.
What?
I heard you treat the new workers like shit and don't listen to anyone except yourself.
It's their fault. They're good-for-nothing slackers, and you watch your tongue or you'll get it in the mouth, too.
Well, they weren't lying. You're all talk. Do you really want to try your luck?
One more word, and you'll see.
We need to pick a place for the fight that isn't too public.
That's one thing we can agree about.
You have any idea where we could do it?
There's a place to the north of Leditchko we can go to after sunset. We won't be seen there, and most of the time it's empty.
Good. Above Ledetchko then, at dusk.
Fine. And who will I be giving a pasting to?
Take your pick. There'll be 3 of us, and you can bring 2 of your friends as well, so there'll be more than enough to go around.
Why not? Do we have a deal then? No trying to get out of it later on.
Agreed. I did it. I arranged to fight him just like you wanted. He had nothing against the idea. He'll bring 2 men, and the 3 of them will wait for us on the hill near Ledetchko.
I wasn't expecting that. I thought he was too much of a coward.
So, how are we going to do it? Should we just meet there?
No. Come and see me towards evening, and then we'll go. Oh, and perhaps you should let Matthew know. Since you were the one who set it up.
God be with you.
I spoke with the miller's daughter.
It's a shame her father won't listen to her. She knows all about Thomas, but
Her father doesn't believe us.
he reckons it's just a woman's fancy. He probably thinks she's smitten with one of us. Not that I'd object, but she's a clever one. She'd make a better miller than either of those 2.
Well, I spoke with him.
How did it go? Did you come to an agreement?
No. There's no talking to him.
What will we do now? I suppose we could just leave, but I don't want to as long as there's some coin to be earned here.
Don't go running off just yet. Fritz and I have come up with a plan.
Shit. You want to trounce him, don't you?
We've arranged a fight to decide things. If we win, he'll leave you alone. If we lose, you'll be on your way.
Sakra! Well, I suppose we've got no other choice. There's no talking to that man. But I find it hard to believe he'll just leave us alone, even if we do win.
It will be us three against them three. That's an honourable fight, and the better men will win.
If you say so.
All right, I'm here. Let's do it.
So let's go.
I'll have to get something to eat. I'm starting to get hungry.
Nice to see such a good turnout. The more the merrier.
Arsehole. You won't think it's so funny in a minute.
I think you're fucking hilarious.
Enough horseshit. I didn't come here for a chat.
Just as well. You're not much of a conversationalist.
We gonna get on with this anytime soon?
Let's do it, Dopici! You're dead.
You're done for. Missed!
That's that then.
Do you think it will be enough?
He definitely looked like he'd had enough.
True. He'll either stop or make life hell on earth for us.
So, anything else you need from me?
No. Thank you for your help.
Yeah, no problem. What are friends for?
You forgot something.
Of course. You're right. Here's something on the side, Emily.
Ah, there's no need for that. I did it out of friendship. You can spend the coin on drinks at the tavern.
Thanks. You're a real friend.
We really are in your debt now.
Can I sleep here?
I suppose I could find something. For how long?
Just the one night?
Sure, but groschen first. These are harsh times.
Here you go.
You've got it all to yourself. No one will disturb you.
How did things work out with the job I arranged?
You did what I asked, but
Welcome,
still.
Henry.
Antonia is a widow now. Not all the coin in the world can help if God doesn't will it.
Teresa, I brought you something.
My, how chivalrous. That's lovely. Thank you so much.
Would you like to get up to some more mischief? It was fun the last time.
Yes, it was. I'm a bit surprised you thought so too. Although a girl doesn't get a chance to tend the wounds of a gallant defender every day. It's quite late to be going out somewhere just now. Will you come tomorrow?
Hey, you! Don't move a muscle! Surrender!
All right,
You're
you
under
win.
arrest. You've been making trouble and beating people up. We don't put up with that around here. Well, you won't forget this in a hurry, because it'll take a nice pile of coin to fix it.
Damn it. Here's your coin then.
All right. Just make sure it doesn't happen again.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
What about the crown? Is it finished?
I'm a man of my word. Of course it's finished. Here you have it. Thank the Lord you found that Moldavite. It wouldn't be the same without it.
Can I take a look inside the monastery?
What's got into you, boy? The grounds inside the monastery belong to the monks of the Order of Saint Benedict. No others shall pass.
I've been sent here from Talmberg. I'm to speak with the one responsible for construction.
That'd be the master builder. Or with our brother, the overseer. What matter is it you're here about?
It has to do with the stone for construction.
Ah, then that's a matter of supply. You'll want to talk to the overseer. He knows more about that sort of thing. His study is right above us, more or less. Go up the steps to the left and then head back in this direction, almost the whole way.
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
I've come in the name of Sir Divish. I'd like to have a look around the spot where the accident happened.
And why is Sir Divish interested in that regrettable accident?
He'd like to know what role the masonry had in it, or at least its quality.
I guess it played a crucial role, but I don't intend to stand in the way of your investigation. I've already made sure the poor man was well taken care of, and that's enough for me.
Thank you. I appreciate it. They sent you a letter from Talmberg.
Really? Hand it over then.
Oh no, I'm not the messenger. They sent it earlier.
And it still hasn't arrived? It depends on who the letter was passed on to, but I'm sure it will find its way here in the end.
Who's in charge of purchasing materials for the construction?
Mainly it's me. I pay the fees and make arrangements for delivery, but those in charge of the actual building take care of the rest. I'm not knowledgeable when it comes to the quality of stone. They had the red stone delivered from a long way off.
They take care of storage as well?
Yes, but usually whatever arrives is used up straight away. The construction is in full progress.
Do you remember when they brought the last delivery of stone?
Yes. It rained a lot that week, so they let the carriage sit right outside of the gate on the other side of the wall. It took some time before it was dry enough for further transport.
And there wasn't anything strange about it?
A little strange, I suppose. Usually they bring us a large block of stone, which the builders cut to size. But this time it was a number of smaller pieces. No one complained. They probably saw it as less work.
I heard that you were late with your payment to the Talmberg quarry.
That's true. We ourselves had late payments, and it took some time before we gathered enough money to pay. But that's happened in the past.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
The overseer sent me. You're to show me the place where the accident happened.
Like I've got time to spare to show you round. He should have done it himself. Why do you want to know, anyway?
Because of the Talmberg stone. If they really are delivering poor quality material, then there should be consequences.
I'd be interested in what kind. But I'm guessing the overseer likes the idea of cheaper stone, right?
And have you noticed anything else going on?
Of course. It's a construction site. Things are always going wrong. The men are always complaining and the work isn't being done fast enough.
So it's just like any other building work?
Essentially, yes. Occasionally someone brings in bad wood, or a man cuts off his thumb and blames it on a bad omen, and then there's all these rumors going round.
I'd be interested to know what the men talk about.
Who's been stealing, which men from the monastery go to visit women, how the work's going, normal things. It's only the talk about the curse that's not in the normal run of things. And then there's that devil's skull they dug up.
Who's stealing? Could someone be stealing the stone?
According to the rumors, everyone, from the abbot and the custodian down to the lowest laborer. It's like with whores and dice. There's no protection against slander. And something gets lost here and there, that's true. But nobody stole any stone. There wouldn't be any left if every man here started helping himself, would there?
You talked about the devil's skull.
I did. They say it was found in the hole dug for the foundation of the scaffolding. They moved it so it would do its harm elsewhere. But I wasn't there to see it, so I don't know.
And who might know more?
Shouldn't you be investigating the stone? Leszek's in charge of the scaffolding, so ask him if you really have to know. He might tell you something.
Where's the scene of the accident?
It didn't happen on the main site. It was at the outbuilding next to the church, right under the long stairs before the entrance door. Ask my assistant who's in charge there. You'll easily recognize him. He dresses up like he owns the place.
I'm at your service, Sir Knight.
I heard you found something.
It's true. I dug it up during work. I then ran away with it and got rid of it so the others wouldn't see. But rumours spread anyway.
And what was it that nobody was supposed to see?
What do you think? A demon skull.
Here, on holy ground, in the middle of the monastery.
But it was outside the monastery walls.
Where exactly? Is there anything else there worth seeing?
Nothing but scaffolding. We started digging there to set foundations for extending it.
And are you sure it was a devil's skull?
I know what I saw. I can recognize a human skull. And this one had horns. Like the devil, besides. That thing gave off a diabolical stink.
And where is it now? What did you do with it?
I was taking it down to the river to throw it in. Only I dropped it at the top of the slope and it rolled downhill. The devil alone knows where it ended up.
I'll see if I can find it. The stone fell on him here. You can still see the marks. This has to be the stone that hit him. I'll take a piece of it. Maybe someone will recognize it.
What is it? Jesus, look where you're going. Hey, who's there?
Welcome, Henry. The Lord save you. What do you need?
I've brought the roan, my lady.
That's wonderful. There weren't any problems with it, I hope.
Nothing too serious. He's a little wild, but I was able to handle him in the end.
Well, that won't do. Sophie can't have some wild horse at her wedding starting a stampede.
But I've learnt a trick. If you sing to him, he calms down.
You sang to a horse?
It's quite true, I'm afraid. I sang to a horse.
Well, then you'll have to sing something to me, too.
My lady, I don't know if I...
So I know how to calm down that roan. Go ahead, sing.
Two horses come roaming in the merry month of May, to graze in the shade of the apple tree there. The first one is brown and the second is grey. Which shall I ride to, my maiden so fair?
Oh, how beautiful! I'm not surprised the horse calmed down after hearing such a lovely voice. Anyway, I'll think about what to do with the roan. But thank you, Henry.
I brought you the crown from the master engraver.
Henry, you are a gem. Look at that Moldavite. Isn't it wonderful? Sophie will look like an angel. So what's next?
I brought the wine.
Wonderful, wonderful. No wedding is complete without good wine. Find somewhere here to put it down. I'll send for a servant to bring it later. I hope you had no problems acquiring it.
Let's just say that when I got to the merchant, my task had only just begun.
But you were able to handle it. Thank you so much, Henry.
What can I do for you, my lady?
Nothing. You've done enough. And now I'd like to reward you.
That's not necessary, my lady. You taking the time to see me is reward enough.
Come now, Henry. No need for such modesty. I appreciate everything you've done for me, as well as your company. And there's something I'd like to give you. This shirt was my father's. He was built very much like you. Broad shoulders, strong chest. It should fit you just right.
But I can't accept this. It's too valuable.
It's too valuable to be left to the mercy of moths. It doesn't fit my husband well, and I've no one else to give it to. What's more, if you were to leave us again, I'd like you to have something to remember me by, so you don't forget me.
I could never forget you, my lady.
Well then, won't you try it on at least?
What, right now?
Why not? Don't worry, I won't look. I'll turn my back.
And what if your husband comes in?
He won't. Neither will anyone else.
All right then.
I feel truly blessed to have you here. So long I yearned for young company. I really feel God heard my prayers and sent you to me.
I'm ready.
My, you do look handsome. As fine as any gentleman. When I was a little girl, there were always lots of other children around and young men and women of the court. It was so merry. I always hoped it would be like that when I was grown up too. But it was not God's plan.
You and Sir Divish had no children?
No. No, alas, we were not blessed. Twice I was with child, but they did not live. And now I fear there's no hope for me.
My lady. Oh, forgive me, my lady. I shouldn't have.
I don't mind.
What is it?
What?
I hope I can be of help to you, Knight.
Sir Divish mentioned you've been having one or two problems.
Well, he's not wrong. Thanks to these rumours going around, my stone blocks are just sitting here. Or lying.
What happened with the stone?
A piece broke off one and fell on someone, and they blame it on the quality of the stone. Ha! I bet they were too drunk to see straight.
And isn't it possible that...
It's not. I sent them the best stone. It would be a sin to cut corners to try and make money from the house of God.
I'm sorry you have so many worries. I hope it all ends well.
It'll end, one way or the other. It reeks of profiteering and politics.
What do you know about these rumours?
There was an accident in the monastery, and there are rumours going around that it was because of bad quality stone.
And isn't it possible one bad one might have slipped in there somehow?
No, it's slander. Maybe they start thinking this quarry's too expensive and they found themselves a new one. Whatever's behind it, I want to know about it.
Here's the cursed stone that caused so much damage.
It's old and weathered. But this isn't my stone.
What?
Well, this stone isn't from my quarry. See the grain? That's not from the weathering. The stone is from somewhere else.
Did you send the last delivery of stone in smaller pieces?
No. Why would we do that? We always deliver it in big blocks. It's easier for us.
That's odd. They told me they were glad you got them smaller pieces so they had less work to dress it.
But that's not possible.
It seems the stone you sent never arrived and they got this instead.
Unthinkable. I delivered the last shipment myself because I wanted to exchange a few words with them, and nothing happened along the way.
Then someone must have replaced them on site.
But what would the builders have out of it? To replace it and then say we sent it?
I don't think the builders know what happened. Most likely it's someone else who has their fingers in this.
A thief?
Good day to you.
I've got those hides you want. I've got those hides you wanted.
Now that's what I call quality. That'll do me just fine. Here, you've earned a bit of coin.
Couldn't you use some hides?
Aye, I've got an order from the monastery for hare hides. They make belts from them to ease backache. I shouldn't wonder if the old abbot wears one himself.
I'm honored that a knight such as you takes an interest in me.
Has anything else unusual happened?
I can think of a couple of things. When we were extending the scaffolding, they dug up a human skull by the wall, with horns. The scaffolder Leszek got rid of it straight away, but there are still rumors going around about it. And about the building being cursed.
A skull with horns? How did it get there?
I don't know. I didn't see it with my own eyes, but there were enough witnesses. You can ask Leszek. He'll tell you more.
What about the second thing?
One of our workers ran away.
And that's unusual?
Somewhat. Usually, if someone runs away, they take things with them. But he left everything here, absolutely everything, and disappeared like steam over a cooking pot. He didn't tell a soul what he was up to.
I looked around, and the stone that fell on that man is different from the rest.
Yes, it's very poor. But we have to work with what we've got. We didn't have anything else, and we couldn't wait for more.
That's not what I meant. It's not the same kind of stone that came from Talmberg. Someone must have switched it.
But why would anyone do that?
Well, maybe he was stealing new stone and replacing it with old stuff. Or to sabotage the construction, I don't know.
But the carriage never moved. It rained a lot and we couldn't get any work done, or we'd have been up to our ankles in mud.
So, someone had to take it out without being seen?
That huge piece of rock. It would take a few strong men to shift something that size. I know you're trying to help, but someone would have noticed. It couldn't be done without anyone seeing it.
What is it then?
It's about this. I challenge you to a duel, sir.
What?
You heard? Don't try to wriggle out of it. Let's get to it.
I'm not in the habit of fighting to the death with fellows I meet by chance on the road. Tell me first what this is all about.
What's happening is I'm challenging you to a duel. You disgusting man. I spit in your face.
Eager, aren't you? Who are you, anyway?
I am Sir Oldbram of Lossany.
Pleased to meet you, Sir Oldbram. So, what are you after?
My mother sent me out to get some experience. She's obsessed with tales of chivalrous knights. In short, she sent me off looking for some virgin to save, and to win glory in combat. But I have to admit, I'm not very good at it.
That's a damn foolish idea. You ought to go home.
I'd love to. But what shall I tell Mama?
Tell her to forget about her Tristans and Amadises and leave you alone. Not only will you have peace, but no doubt your subjects will take you more seriously too.
That's easier said than done. I'm not sure I have the courage for that.
Well, you have the courage to accost wayfarers and challenge them to duels. Surely you can talk to your mother.
Well, I suppose so. Thank you for your encouraging words.
Glad to be of service, sir.
I only hope some Christian soul will give me a proper burial. I don't want the flesh picked from my bones by ravens. Hey, watch it! Folks these days.
you still feel like doing something together?
But I can't right now. Will you come back another time, please?
God be with you, Henry.
Go away, leave me alone.
Do you still feel like doing something together?
Shall we play Blind Man's Buff?
That's really what you want to do?
I know it's a game for children, but I always liked it, and I won't feel stupid playing it with you.
All right, why not?
Good. Then follow me. Nobody will see us here in this barn.
Are you shy?
It's a game for little children. Of course I'm embarrassed.
Well, adults play it too, you know.
But only when they're drunk.
I'll cover my eyes.
Well, they do say love is blind.
Cheeky boy. But this is a game you won't be winning. I've got ears sharper than a bat's.
And I'm as stealthy as a cat. You'll never find me.
We'll see. But if you leave the barn, you lose. Come here. Come on, spin me around. What are you waiting for?
Blind I may be, deaf I'm not. Make a sound, and you'll get got. How does it go after that?
It doesn't matter. Go and hide.
I bet you're here. No?
Where are you? Ha! Got you.
Here?
What was that? Was that you? You're a sneaky one. How come I didn't hear you? Oh no! I've left clothes out to dry. We have to bring them in before they get soaked.
Lord Almighty.
Oh no, it's completely soaked.
You'll have to put it by the stove to dry.
No, that would just make it reek of smoke. Help me bring it to the hay.
It's sopping wet.
Not afraid of thunderstorms, are you?
Not anymore.
Shouldn't we spread the linen out?
Henry, hush now.